Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got so much Wonder Woman stuff. It's coming through my teeth. It's coming through my ears. But before I do that, always a piece of scripture. Mark chapter 5. And I'm going to read quite a lot. So let's get into it. Verse 21 says, "And when Jesus passed over again by ship to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, much people gathered to him, and he was near to the sea. And behold, one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, when he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet, and he begged him, saying, 'My daughter, she lies at the point of death. I pray you, come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed, and she shall live.' And Jesus went with him, and much people followed him, and they cramped on him, or thronged him. And a certain woman, which had an issue of blood 12 years, had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all she had, and was nothing better, but rather worse. And when she heard of Jesus, she came in the press behind and touched his garment." I know some of you know about this, that you look for help, you go to the medical doctors, and your situation still gets worse, and their prognosis is usually you're going to get worse. She said in her heart, "If I may touch the hem of his garment, I shall be whole." And straightway the fountain of her blood dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague when she touched him. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned about in the press and said, "Who touched my clothes?" And his disciples said to him, "Don't you see a multitude cramping against you? What do you mean by who touched my clothes?" And he looked round about him and saw her which did this thing. And the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you whole. Go in peace and be whole of your plague." And while he was speaking, there came the ruler of the synagogue's house, a certain person, who said to Jairus, "Your daughter is dead. Why are you troubling the master any further?" As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue, "Don't be afraid, only believe." And he suffered no man to follow him save Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. And he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeing the tumult and them that wept and wailed greatly. And when he came into the house, he said to them, "Why do you make so much fuss and weep? The child is not dead, she's just sleeping." And they laughed him to scorn. But when he had put them all out of the house, and he had taken the father and the mother of the child, and they that were with him, that's Peter, John, and James, he entered in where the child was lying. And he took her by the hand, and he said to her, "Talitha cumi," which, being interpreted, is, "My daughter, I say to you, arise." And straightway the damsel arose and walked, for she was 12 years of age. And they were astonished with great astonishment. And he charged them that no man should know about exactly what he did. And he commanded that something should be given to her to eat. This story is about two women. Well, one was a woman, one was a young girl, 12 years old. And in both cases, the situations were dire and hopeless. And Jesus dealt with both situations in slightly different fashions. One was a woman seeking to be healed. The other was the subject of being healed. She needed to be healed, but her father came to seek that she would be healed. Now, without going into too much detail here, I just want to say, because there is a woman standing in front of us right now, known as Wonder Woman, well, this is actually Princess Diana, I wanted to say to you guys that since we are on the subject of women, Both women in the story, one a young girl and the other one a grown woman, both women were restored. And both situations were ones in which, in the natural realm, if we were here and, if we had this situation happening to us or to someone we knew, we wouldn't be very hopeful. Wonder Woman is about hope. Wonder Woman is about hope. This story being told. And I'll capture different aspects of it. And John Wonder said something that is very true. I used a mythos to highlight another mythos. I'm not mad at him for saying that. You see, a lot of times people think that myths are lies. But myths probably are sometimes truer than our present reality. And what I mean by this is it's very simple. And I hope that you hold fast to the stuff I'm saying. You see, in Anansi Tales, what we call myths, hides the truth. Every mythos has a moral or a story or something it's teaching you. You may not be aware that you're being taught something, but there is always something being passed on to you. The best way to teach something is to show it. This is why a good leader is not someone who talks or forces people to do things. A good leader is a leader by example, by demonstrating. This is why we're so attached to superheroes, because they demonstrate, they show, they exhibit the characteristics we would like to have. Power, virtue. That's what makes a hero different from a villain. A villain is someone we don't like because of their values, their virtues. These are things that are not visible, but they are made visible through the person that's there. They embody these things. If you look at the word below Wonder Woman in this picture, you see the word courage. It took a lot of courage for that woman with the issue of blood. In her sickness, and we're talking about a woman who was sick, that means she was bleeding profusely from the inside. She probably had a cancer or something that was incurable and she was going to die. And she was getting worse with more treatments. And it took courage for a weak, feeble woman to get into a mob, people mobbing a person, get past that, get past being trampled and touch it. And it took a lot of courage to believe that if she touched him, it would make a difference in her life. It took a lot of courage to stand up after she had been healed, come back, and acknowledge that she took something from him. Power. You see, love is powerful. Love can heal anything. And I know people think that I'm talking airy-fairy nonsense, but this is what keeps us alive right now. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you really love, the real love, you actually will heal people. The love will come out of you and people will be healed around you. Not only mentally, not only physically, but what we call spiritually. You must be a spiritual person to truly have love. Love is not just a mental exercise. It's not just a physical exercise. It is a spiritual exercise. And you will hear Patty Jenkins speak about this in Gal Gadot. In certain religions, they talk about the aura of a person. Some people think the aura is the electromagnetic field that that person gives off, which is invisible. Different auras give different hues in the electromagnetic spectrum. Whatever you believe this to be, the important thing is that you have love. Love makes a big difference. A big difference. The problem is, in this world, we share love in different planes, but it's intermittent. It's not consistent enough. And it sure as hell is not popular enough that the world can actually heal. Wonder Woman is about love. She's about courage. She's about kindness. So we're going to get into her right now. But I want you to remember that scripture in the background, because I'm going to come back to it in and out in this video. All right? I got tons of stuff to say in this video, so I'm going to try and get through it. But this is a beautiful picture. As you can see, it's for your phone, of Wonder Woman. I just wanted to zoom in a little bit on Gal Gadot's image here. It does resemble Gal a lot, and I think it's a promo by Warner Brothers and DC. Really well done animation here. This is some beautiful animation. I would love to see Wonder Woman animated looking like this. This is, I mean, Clone Wars and all of that, man. You can take it to the next level with Wonder Woman in terms of animation. I would love to see that. Her own animated television series. That would be awesome. But anyway, moving on, because we have to. Here is another poster of Wonder Woman. This is a new poster that came out today. And I know you guys probably seen it, some of you, if you've been dialed into Wonder Woman. But this is really beautiful. I love it. All the posters have been beautiful, by the way. They've been just wonderful posters. Of course, every single poster is telling you a story. So pay attention to what this poster is actually saying about Diana. Here is Steve Trevor. Again, wonderful poster. Love it. Looks like triumphant confetti and some debris and stuff. It's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. I wish they could make hot toys that look like this. You know, like almost like the real person. That would be awesome. Now this picture, if you have noticed, in my last couple of videos, I've been doing a Black Diana. I've been doing Nubia. Black Diana is known as Nubia. She's not Diana, actually. She has another name. And she was an Amazon as well. And why I highlight Nubia, and I wish I had other races, is because Wonder Woman is not exclusive to one race. Wonder Woman is an idea. Just like how Jesus is an idea. Whether you believe Jesus is a mythos or not. I know he's real because I've experienced it. But that's besides the point. The point is that it's an idea. Not just an idea, but it is actually a spirit. So you have to understand what it is you're dealing with. And spirits are not racial. They don't have any race. They're not limited to anything. It's just, love is not limited to race or color or anything. All right? So I decided, let's you know Wonder Woman regardless of who's in the outfit, right? You identify Wonder Woman very easily. You'll be like, you playing Wonder Woman. It doesn't matter who the person is. It could be, well, if it's a man, it's going to be kind of weird. It's like, what kind of Wonder Woman is that? I'm just joking. But I've seen men wearing the tiara and the bracelets, and I'm like, come on, guys. Now, I know you like Wonder Woman and all that and the support, but come on now. You could be Steve Trevor now. There's a Steve Trevor in the story. You know what I mean? I know you're throwing support, guys, but now, tone down on the tiara. I know men are kind of stupid as well, and we like to do stupid things, but I love you. Know you love the Wonder Woman and all of that, but come on now. Don't do that now. All right, all ages. This is the youngest age. This is a little girl. I'm so happy for the little girls out there. Little girls, but we also got little boys as well. No, they're not wearing a tiara. They'll be Steve Trevor, but they are informed as to how women can be, and they're now seeing this as the iconic Wonder Woman on the screen. And let me tell you something. Everybody loves Wonder Woman. Men, women, children. Everybody loves Wonder Woman. This is very important. She's not just liked by women. She's not just liked by little girls. No, they got a role model. But so do the little boys. They don't have a role model, but they know now, hey, listen, you will meet strong women out there. You will meet women very capable out there. They're not just in homes cooking a meal for someone. They're not just moms. You know, I like that. I like it a lot. I like that Wonder Woman's a superhero. And I'm glad Wonder Woman was a superhero. I'm glad William Marston and his wife and his lover, I'm glad they formed this character, because without this character in the world, and listen, there's a demand for this character in the world, meaning there's a demand for women like this in this world. It's needed. So I'm loving it. Every step of the way. And it's not, you see the little girls here, I love how they symbolize that. And there's a lot more I want to say, but remember, Wonder Woman's a feminist and it's for women's rights, so you got to expect that. Oh, this is just beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Well, that's intense too. That's a little girl doing that. That's it. And we got the teenage girls as well. All right. So we got every single age group Wonder Woman appeals to. Every single age group. I love it. And this movie's for every single age group, even though it's a bit violent. So, you know, you gotta get the kids to understand that it's gonna be violent. Okay, it's gonna be violent. Now, Patty Jenkins tried to tone it down in that she didn't want Wonder Woman killing a whole set of people. So she wasn't running through people. You want to see a whole set of blood and all that kind of thing. But at the same time, it is a violent movie. It's kind of grounded in realism to some degree. So that's, you know, you got to bear that in mind. Now, for the women who like to see a woman run through men and bash them and beat them up because of whatever ever happened to you in your life, let me just say that, again, Patty Jenkins wasn't trying to get... Wonder Woman doesn't really want to kill people. She don't want to hurt people. But if she got to do the do, she going to do the do. Because she's an Amazon. And them Amazons, they don't play, right? I love the Amazons, by the way. Because this is the first depiction... I've seen it in Underworld and those other places, other movies. I've seen it in Black Widow, you know, real kick-ass, badass woman. But I'm talking about the Amazons. You have a whole freaking army of women, you know, and they're not seen as savages. You know, sometimes the Amazons are portrayed in some movie, like I think in Gladiator or whatever. They're portrayed as badass but vicious and stuff. And they are vicious, don't get me twisted. But what I'm saying is that the badassery in this movie is going to be on another level. It's going to be on another level of badassery. And I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? This is from the movie Wonder Woman. This is a shot. You can see devastation in the background, it seems, or it's a quiet moment. You see the sun setting there. Seems like a soldier or somebody kneeling there. Either kneeling to Wonder Woman or something like that. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but that's an interesting scene. I saw in the movie. Now this means a lot to me. All right, and I just want to read it for you guys. This explains what Patty Jenkins has been shooting for. Okay. So this young girl, she sees this granny getting picked up from the ground, like she fell or something, right? And you hear this girl say, and of course she's a black girl, black grandmother. Wonder Woman's a white person, right? Aren't you going to tell me I'm too young to be a hero? That's what the little girl's saying. And Wonder Woman says, no. Heroism is not a function of the calendar system. It's your life to live. Which is true. Being a hero is not so much about what people think about you, none of those things. It's just about how you live your life. Well, it's just... Is something wrong? I only got my powers a week ago. I can make something do anytime. Something, and this is my first team up. And I thought you thought I'd grant you wisdom. Hold this cord for a moment. Is it going to burn me? Difficult to say. May I know your name, sister? Oh boy. Fiona McGill. And do you vow to protect the innocent and help those in need? That's all I ever wanted, I vow. Then I say this, Princess Bouquet. It's not for me to say how one's life serves others. I place my trust in your heart and your wisdom. I have your action figure. Do you? Perhaps someday I'll have yours. So, as you can see, being a hero is not about beating up bad guys. Being a hero is not just about acts which people applaud you for and give you a medal for valor. No. Being a hero is not saving the day. Being a hero is doing what's right in your heart every day. You can be a hero to someone's life simply by smiling at them. They're not going to die. They're not in a deadly situation. By being polite where people want you to be gruff, and you showed courage by continuing to be gentle and polite to people. Because to change the world, it's not going to take one person, one hero. You're looking for a savior to change the world. One person, no. Even though that's the ideology of Jesus Christ. Now, he saved us. If he just came through, saved one person in the whole wide world, and he left, ain't gonna make a difference. The difference is made by us. All of us. The more of us, the better. That's the only way change is going to happen. And that's what Wonder Woman symbolizes. And you're going to see that in the movie. Right? Alright, let's move on. So here's another fan art here. A fan did this picture. Wonder Woman. She's charging into battle. It's a different type of animation. Yeah, all kinds of animation of Wonder Woman. But we know it's Wonder Woman, right? Go check out the Wonder Woman annual that came out. Rebirth annual of Wonder Woman. It's pretty cool. This one is a fan that did this again. It's really funny. So Rotten Tomatoes is falling down. You can see all the dead movies that got collapsed, and Batman v Superman. Wonder Woman got him on her shoulders, and she's like, "I got this." And Rotten Tomatoes is getting knocked over. You know what I mean? Because Rotten Tomatoes are taking so many victims. You know what I'm saying? This is actually a combination of Man of Steel. I did a video with Man of Steel with Superman standing over the bones, and this is a combination of Man of Steel, a little bit of Batman v Superman, and Wonder Woman taking on Doomsday. You know what I'm saying? Doomsday. You remember it was Wonder Woman who was taking on Doomsday? I mean, all of them ended up destroying Doomsday. Well, think of Rotten Tomatoes as Doomsday. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So here's a nice picture again of Wonder Woman. And again, she's like the happy warrior. You know what I mean? She got that Buddhist kind of mentality. You know, all about equilibrium. She definitely is justice. She is the first wielder of justice. She's like a judge. She brings that balance, not just the gender balance, but she also brings, which is what feminism is all about. She also brings that balance in terms of mentality. Sort of brings a piece to the force. She's kind of like Anakin Skywalker, or the flip side of Anakin Skywalker. Let me say, the flip side of Darth Vader. Darth Vader brought peace to the force, but only after he turned to the dark side. She didn't turn to no dark side. She just came in and brought equilibrium to the force. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Here she is, and this time it exhibits sort of the warrior in her as she lassoing something. Love this. I love this Warner Brothers poster. This is just so awesome. Of course, what this poster is featuring is this. And to me, this symbol, the phoenix, the hawk, the dove, the eagle, whatever you want to call it, symbolizes freedom. Freedom to choose your destiny. Freedom in how you choose to move in your life. And hopefully the choice you choose to have is one of goodness. Is one of love. Because love is the ultimate freedom. It sets you free from all trappings, people's expectations. It sets you free to do what's right and what's good. And love is the thing that liberates people from hate and envy and the things that really pull them down. Self-awareness and selfishness and all these kinds of things that bug people down and don't really leave them free to really express how they want to help other people and care for other people. The worries and cares of this world, you know, the sickness and so on, that makes people hesitate to do good because they feel bad's going to come their way. No, love frees you all of that. And you can go ahead and check out Corinthians 13 on that one, right? So I really love this poster. You know, There's no eyes. There is the mouth. There is the nose for breathing. There's a lot this poster's saying, in my opinion. It's speaking. I like WB for that. They put thought into their posters. This, to me, is obviously the focus of this poster is the W, right? the bird that is flying here. Let me show you. This is the bird's feet here. So this is the bird's feet here, and these are the wings. So its feet, it's like it's taking off, and its feet is looking at you. See what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see it. This is the feet here. So it's taking off. And that's like love taking off. You know, the spirit fell down on Jesus like a dove. Egyptian philosophy of the hawk. The hawk is an animal that brings wisdom and so many other virtues in Egyptian culture. You know, when you talk about the eagle for America, you're talking about the eagle spreads its wings and flies across the sky. You know, it says in scripture as well, it says it take you up like eagle, on wings like an eagle. You know, soaring very high up in the sky are hawks and eagles. You know, birds of prey they are called. You know, so the phoenix, oh my God. Let's not talk about the phoenix. The phoenix is awesome. The phoenix was born out of fire. Forged out of fire. That is crazy. That we have the rebirth series and so on. Let me tell you, man, difficulties in life are like the fires of life. But you get forged. Your character gets built out of fires, out of difficulties, out of death. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, the phoenix is still one of the most iconic mythical symbols I've ever heard about. You know, they have the phoenix in the X-Men and stuff, but it's forged out of tragedy, but yet out of the tragedy comes this new life. It's like a death to the old life and a new life you get. I mean, I don't know how to explain this to people, but yo, sometimes I'm glad that certain things have happened to me or happened around me, because were it not for those things, I would not appreciate life and see life in a whole new way. So I love it. I love it. I love it. This to me is pretty deep, and I just enjoy. You know me, I'm a deep person. I enjoy evaluating things. Maybe this is not what this poster is saying, but I truly believe they're focused on the W on her arm. Okay. The symbol of Wonder Woman, which is what I think it is. There it is again. I mean, and you see it again, forged in fire. You see the fire all around it, the blowing explosions, the fire. It's fire. And it's strange. Fire can be something that's used for celebration. We use it for explosives with firecrackers and all those things, fireworks. And it's amazing, them same fireworks and firecrackers in a war bring about so much death and pain. And I'm just telling you, if you can think about in a bad situation, you have the same mindset as that you would have in a good one, you will be surprised how much it forges you so that you can see the challenge. And in the midst of the challenging part of the challenge, you begin to mentally overcome the challenge that is in there, because your mindset has changed into this is actually a time to celebrate the fact that I am forged in this challenge and I will not change. I will become better because of it, and I celebrate that. I mean, it's strange to say, because unlike a celebration, there isn't casualties happening at the point in time. To you, you may be very sick and at the point of death or whatever, and you're celebrating. Are you kidding me? But this is what the disciples did. When they were flogged and beaten, and some of them were being put to death, they looked up into the sky and they saw the heavens open, and they were actually in a celebratory, and they were in what we call someone who intervenes or steps into the place for another person. They were willing to sacrifice themselves for another person. Very heroic, I must say. Sacrifice. If my blood's going to be spilled, it ain't going to be spilled in vain. It's going to be spilled for those people who spill my blood. I hope that they would be able to get what I'm getting right now. Get what I'm getting right now. Not the spilled blood part, but the part that I can see things that they can't see now. I understand life differently. They don't understand it the way I understand it. I want them to get a taste of that. So if you're going to kill me, then spread me, multiply me, let it come out. It's not just martyrdom for martyrdom's sake. Of course, they stay focused on God. But my point being, to me, the phoenix is all of that. To me, the phoenix is supposed to have been dead. That bird was supposed to be killed. You were supposed to burn that thing. It wasn't supposed to be nothing. Nothing was supposed to be there. But yet this bird comes up out of the flame like a fire. It's on fire and it's coming out of the flame. That's what the phoenix means to me. I take it very personally. It means something to my life. Because it doesn't matter what happens in your life. Nothing can keep you down. They can burn your body. They can burn you like Joan of Arc. You could flame up and it look like you're vaporized and it looks like you're nowhere to be seen anymore. Just ashes, baby. And you can come back. And that's what that story I gave you at the beginning was about. That story about that girl that passed away, 12-year-old. She was dead. But the phoenix, baby. But the phoenix, baby. That lady. She was bleeding. She was weak. God knows what she had. And she was healed. And that's what I'm talking about. To me, that's what Wonder Woman represents. You guys have a great one.